This is Athena Jezik again. I'm going to talk a little bit about headaches and maybe the causes of them. Although headaches are funny stuff because the pain in headaches is in different places in the head, and as I've said in other videos, there's different headaches. There's like the liver, kidney, heart headaches and that kind of thing. They have different patterns in the head. And some of the comments on that were, well, how do you know this? Well, it's the pattern of the head, and it works along the lines, the meridian lines of acupuncture is how they determine that. There's the migraine headache. Migraines are treated in Chinese medicine primarily by working the liver toxicity. The idea there is the liver gets inflamed and angry, and the energy rises to the head. The interesting thing about that I note for my life is that when I had the worst amount of migraine headaches as a young person, it was before we discovered that I had an incurable liver disease. So that seems like a connection there. Right now I'm doing a cranial base release because my opinion for headaches is, of course, cranial sacral work. And the reason for that is to get the bones aligned and the cerebrospinal fluid flowing well around the brain. And also to put people into a very deep state of relaxation so that the nervous system can be sedated enough to turn off the stress hormones. Society today has got us spinning around so quickly that many of us never really turn off those stress hormones. We're just constantly in a state of stress. And stress does take our body out. It is a slow detriment to the body. So my idea of working the cranial sacral work for the headache is more for the benefit of the nervous system, so it can just slow down, be quiet for a while, and regroup. I also think that oftentimes having lymphatic work, where we're draining the sinus areas and the nodes that go around the head area, the ears and inside the mouth, and all that. That's another thing that can contribute to headaches, because as it gets full, there's pressure going on. A lot of people get sinus headaches. Well, that's the pressure from the sinuses, so that's where lymphatics come in helpful. Cranial sacral work in that regard sometimes can help the structure to open up a sinus if the bones are a little bit misplaced. It seems they work together. I notice as the bones correct into a different position and the fluid is moved, that people feel much better. So much of the malady comes from very subtle places, unless you get just a big blow on the head, but a lot of it is just really subtle stuff that needs attention. If you're not drinking enough water, especially if you're drinking coffee or sodas, you're dehydrating yourself. That's going to affect the brain. The brain is going to pull fluid from other places, but that too is going to create head pain when you're dehydrated. Plus it's going to make it hard to think clearly, and it might even create some rather reactionary emotions. Now, about drinking and hydration, there's a lot to know about that. If the water is more of an acid pH, it's not going to be as thirst quenching. It's not going to be hydrating you as well as a more alkaline water. And if one is thinking that the bottled water is a better water to drink, you can look online for the movie tapped, T-A-P-P-E-D. The fraud behind the bottled water industry is unbelievable, and the impact that it has on our environment is unbelievable too. It's just massive. So I'm going to throw something kind of political in here. If you're following this green movement with the 350 ppms of carbon dioxide, that is a fraud. It's a Ponzi scheme. If they're not mentioning the banning of plastic containers and bottled water, if that is not an issue for environmental changes to help the planet, don't even listen to it, because that is an issue that is so terrible right now on the planet that it's going to destroy everything. There's beaches that are showing up with 40%, they have 40% plastic chips in them from being washed ashore. 40% of the beaches in some areas are plastic. Now, I think that's a really big problem. They have a picture in there, a very quick little picture of a fish who's just a skeleton inside, and there's nothing but plastic. It's been eating plastic. It's a horrible thing. But we're drinking this water. The bottled water is actually probably more toxic than tap water. Tap water does have fluoride in it. That's not a good thing. But people can get active if they really want to have something healthy and get to their local municipal water departments and get the fluoride out. It takes a lot of work to do that, because once it becomes a commodity, it makes money, and of course the concern about our health is secondary to the profit. So things like this are important to maintain good health and a good healthy environment so that we can have optimal health. It all goes together. But bringing it down into a more personal level, if you are experiencing a lot of body pain in the way of headaches, it is very, very likely that it is something to do with toxicity. And it could have to do with some structural things as far as neck misalignment. And if that's handled right, once that is corrected, the headaches will go away unless there's another underlying issue around it. So basically what you've been watching me do is a little lymph and a little cranial, and now I'm just going to do a little bit of massaging on the head, where you just want to make sure that you're moving the skin. I don't like to put a lot of pressure on the head, but you want to put enough on the head so that you can feel the skin moving. You're not just moving the hair follicles around, but you're actually getting in and moving the skin and working underneath there. There is a little thin layer of muscle, and so that's getting a little bit of a massage. And just a little bit of neck stretching. The other thing I will also say regards headaches is perhaps some of the headache medicine or the medicines that you take for headaches might help a little bit. And if it does take you out of pain and you really need to get out of pain quickly, then you have to do what you have to do. But just remember that every time you take some of that stuff, that your liver is going to have to process it and your body's going to have to deal with it, and it is toxic. So if you bear that in mind, you can monitor yourself a little bit more and take care of making sure that as that happens in the body, you're going to do things to help it get out of the body as well. Because it's the accumulation of the toxicity that is taking our health down. It doesn't matter what the name of the disease is. I believe that disease is all coming from a toxic nature. Even viruses, bacteria, if your body is highly acidic, it's going to be the right environment for them to live. And medicines also will tend to weaken the immune system. The immune system is a wonderful system that can handle so much if it's strong. Unfortunately, it's been damaged. And we can get it back, but that's another thing to begin to look at, ask yourself, sit with, pray, meditate, listen, whatever it is that you do, come to your intuitive sense, get connected back with your body, and you can really begin to enjoy your life without pain and discomfort. Thank you. This is Athena Jezik.
Please subscribe to our channel, and you should also visit our new website. Because we have over 1,300 videos on our channel, I know it can be a little difficult to navigate and find the videos that you want to see. But if you visit us at Psychetruth.net, you'll be able to find the videos you want to see and watch them there. So we encourage you to go to Psychetruth next time you want to search for something, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.